If you have an online course and you are currently using a course platform of your choice, you've probably come across the word drip content or drip schedule or just drip. And if you're not sure what that means, continue to watch this video where you would learn what drip content is, when you should use it, and how you can start to drip content to your students. So let's take a look. Hi, my name is Kat from The Stellar Way. I am here to help you and many other course creators be able to design, create, and launch your own online course. So let's have a look at what drip content is. Think of it as a way to control how you release your content to your students. So you might release your content drip by drip to your students. So little by little. And usually that is when you're dripping module by module to your students. So that's one module with multiple lessons underneath it. If you haven't yet organized what your modules look like, in the comments below you will find a link to a course curriculum spreadsheet, and it's a template, and that will help you to start to organize your course into these modules. So then you can start to identify how you would drip them to your students. So again, that's down in the comments below. Now that you know what drip content is, when should you use drip content? If you want your students to be able to see your content and move around through your course with whatever freedom they want, then drip content's probably not for you. However, if you do want to use drip content to control when students do see content, then let's have a look at when you should be using drip content. For example, firstly, if you do have prerequisites. So that means if students are meant to be completing work in specific orders in order to be able to achieve the final outcome, then drip content is great for you. So for example, you may have a course that's about content marketing. And first you want your students to understand the types of copywriting, the kind of formats and frameworks of copywriting before they start to apply their skill sets. And you want them to do these modules before you start looking at designing landing pages. So you can see how you're creating this scaffolded journey, and you're only letting students be able to see the right information that they need to be able to achieve that specific learning outcome before they move to the next learning outcome, because they need that information first. Some other areas that you might see this in is accounting, you might see it in project management, and really any other type of learning where we need to have bits and pieces released to us, because if we move too far in the future, or if we allow our students to go ahead, they might miss vital information that they need to succeed. So that's basically what prerequisites are. Another time that you might want to use your drip content is when you are doing a beta or a pilot test. Basically, that means if you are just starting out with your course and you're in your very first versions of it, a way to be able to release your course over time is to use drip content. So you have your whole group of beta testers and you let them know that your course is starting on X date and that they will have content released to them each week. If you want to know more about beta testing, you can check out my videos where I discuss how to beta test. I'll put those links in the comments below as well. Now that you know what and when you should use drip content, let's have a look at two different types or ways that you can release content. Now, I like to break these down into the course creator controlled method and the student behavior controlled method. So what that means is that the course creator method is when you are in control of when students can see content. And what that looks like is that you might say from the first date that they log in, or from their first enrolled date, or from a specific date that you set, students then see content every 7 days after that. So for example, they might enroll and see module 1, then 7 days after they see module 2, 7 days after that they see module 3. You can set this to whatever day increment you want. So you might have every 30 days, every 2 weeks, whatever you want, but it's controlled by you. So what this then means is, let's say that you have a student see content on their enrollment date, and then they see content every 7 days after that. That will then mean that when they enroll, they would see module 1. And then 7 days after, they would have access to module 2, no matter what point in module 1 they are. So they might be halfway through module 1 and you release module 2. They might still be continuing module 1 in that first 1 or 2 weeks, and then you release module 3. So it's not controlled on the student's behavior at all, it's just released to them on a frequently set time frame. On the other side of that is the student behavior triggered drip content. And so what that means is that based on what the student does, so how they interact with your course, new content is then released to them. And this is usually in regards to prerequisites, meaning that students need to finish off the entire module before they'll see the next module. Now you can set up prerequisites by module, or you can set up prerequisites by quizzes as well, where someone cannot move ahead until they complete their quiz. So now it's over to you. Your task is to identify if you want to use drip content in your courses and if it will be beneficial for your students or if it will hinder them. So remember, we said that drip content, you can use it when you have prerequisites or when you are beta testing. It is really useful in this situation. Remember as well, there's 2 different ways that you can release content, whether it's controlled by you, set by specific dates, which is really great for your beta testing, or whether it's controlled by student behavior, meaning they have to complete prerequisites before they can continue. Remember that drip content is usually released by module, so if you haven't yet set up your modules, start there and start by downloading the template, which is the course curriculum template that you can see in the comments below, and that will help you get started. If you do have any other questions, add them in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see other topics covered in this learning series. Until next time, happy course creating. Bye for now.